What to Play presents 15 of the best PlayStation 5 titles from the first half of 2021, all arranged by PlayScores. To check out our full list, visit our website at whattoplay.com. You can also take part in our rankings by leaving reviews of the games that you played. Ranked 15th is Marvel's Avengers. Eidos Montreal's ambitious looter RPG really fell flat. It didn't get the following it needed due to its microtransactions and shoddy attempts at storytelling. However, the PS5 enhanced version really adds something for the players to enjoy, aside from its visuals and performance. The breadth of new content coming might possibly turn this game around. The upcoming massive expansions may just be what the game needs. A play score of an 8.02. 14th spot is MotoGP 21. A playground for would-be racing managers, this latest from MotoGP enhances the simulation experience of their previous entries, bringing in a fresh and next-generation feel in and out of the racetrack. It's the most realistic and immersive MotoGP experience to date. MotoGP 21 has a ton of features in store for all the racing enthusiasts, despite most of its content being copies of its previous titles. Create that dream crew and customize every facet of their budding careers. A play score of an 8.12. At 13th place is Scarlet Nexus, the latest action RPG from Bandai Namco. It's not the most original idea they came up with, but Scarlet Nexus's satisfying combat is something every fan of the genre should try. In it, you manipulate the environment around you using a variety of telekinetic abilities. The PS5's DualSense controller helps with the experience. This stylish flow of gameplay makes every encounter feel like you're the most powerful guy in the room. Tag teaming with the protagonist's partner feels like you're playing under one mind, despite them being AI. While its abundance of side quests is all but filler, the main story is not too bad. You know what else is not too bad? What to Play membership, of course. Support our channel by joining and becoming part of the What to Play experience. Scarlet Nexus receives a play score of an 8.28. At 12th place, Subnautica Below Zero. Unknown World's next chapter to their terrifying yet beautiful underwater exploration game. Anyone with thalassophobia should never put their hands on this one. But if you want to brave the depths of the abyss, you're free to do so. Below Zero pretty much has the same mechanics as the original, but with more linear storytelling and a main protagonist that can finally speak. Make most of this terrible situation by crafting the right tools and surviving in this harsh, frozen wasteland full of nightmare-fuel leviathans. A play score of an 8.47. 11th place, Chivalry 2. If anyone's looking for some crazy good time with friends, Torren Barner Studios' chaotic melee-based first-person title is the perfect choice. Assuming you bought a PlayStation 5. Sure, while the game supports crossplay between PS4 and PS5, the PS5's performance is better compared to its previous-gen counterpart. That makes it the definitive platform to play on. Running at 60 frames and supporting 4K, what more could you ask for in this sequel? Aside from the improved gore and physics, of course. A play score of an 8.47.
It pulls us.
10th on the list is Returnal. Housemarque's biggest game to date, and it's the first of the many PlayStation 5 exclusives to grace the console. Returnal borrows familiar elements from notable roguelike titles such as Hades, Dead Cells, and Risk of Rain. This is evident in its endless cycle of life and death, with every return, no pun intended, rewarding. Despite this familiarity, its third-person shooter gameplay is seamless with its serving of satisfying gunplay. Not only do you feel every shot from your DualSense controller, its alien environments, obviously inspired by H.R. Giger's works, also feels like a character on its own. It receives a play score of an 8.51. 9th is Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. Square Enix's beloved Final Fantasy entry is getting a re-release exclusively for the PlayStation 5. One would say it's a remake of a remake, considering it comes with enhanced visuals and performance. Intergrade's biggest addition, aside from Tifa and Aerith's 4K beauty, is the Yuffie DLC. In a separate game mode, this single-player story is more than just bonus content. It syncs up perfectly with Remake's story, and its gameplay is amped up, bringing in more stylish action to the fray. The future of the series is still a mystery, and with Tetsuya Nomura's genius, who knows what's going to happen with Part 2. A play score of an 8.61. Eighth on the list, Control Ultimate Edition. Remedy Entertainment's supernatural action adventure was a sleeper hit when it came out. To this day, it continues to gain traction due to its impressive gameplay and bizarre story. The SCP-inspired concepts of its enemies are a nice touch as well. Ultimate Edition is the definitive way to play Control, if you haven't played the game before. It contains all the DLCs, including a tie-in with none other than Remedy's Alan Wake series. It receives a play score of an 8.64.
Reputation is everything. If a Yakuza shows weakness, he's done.
I've been waiting to open this door for 18 years.
Number 7. Yakuza Like a Dragon. The latest of the Yakuza games is a breath of fresh air for new and old fans of the series. The switch to turn-based alleviated some of the game's chaotic moments. Now with more time to breathe, it gives players all the time in the world to enjoy the brand new story as well as deal with their enemies. Like all Yakuza, expect batshit crazy activities. Anyone with a PlayStation 5 might want to grab this game if they're interested in some lighthearted RPG with a few story-heavy moments. A play score of an 8.68. Sixth on the list, Judgment. Speaking of Yakuza games, the success of the series opened it to new possibilities of growth. This Yakuza spin-off isn't the strongest of the series, but it did generate a new fanbase that loved this new approach to the universe. That much is evident with a sequel coming out this September. Originally a PlayStation 4 release, this next-gen upgrade is ready to play on the PlayStation 5 with better visuals and performance. Fans of the Yakuza series will find some of its mechanics familiar, but in terms of story, it's far from the wacky adventures it had. It receives a play score of an 8.74. Fifth on the list is Guilty Gear Strive. Fighting games. Arc System Works' latest Guilty Gear in forever is taking the fighting game community by storm. Well, kinda. Like previous GG titles, the controls are mechanically demanding. It would take you hours and hours of practice to maximize each of the roster's movesets. But don't worry, Strive has a streamlined tutorial mode to aid you better. Of course, with all the fancy moves, the crazy dolphins, and perfect frames, it's still a fighting game where playing casually is perfectly fine, as long as you're enjoying it. A play score of an 8.75. Fourth is Hitman 3. IO Interactive's final Hitman game, for now at least. The world-famous bald assassin is out to take his most dangerous contracts ever, taking him to places all around the world. Whether you want to take in the amazing sights of the famous places you visit, or clear a variety of objectives, Hitman 3 has a lot of stuff packed for anyone into the stealth genre. Let's see how IO handles their upcoming new IP, a Bond game. Hitman 3 receives a play score of an 8.76.
Well, Ethan Winters. There you are.
Third on the list is Resident Evil Village. Everyone knows about Village. From the memes to the creepy dolls to Lady D's massive presence all around the internet. It's hard not to know about this game. Village is the biggest Resident Evil game Capcom ever made, and it certainly exceeded everyone's expectations. The story of Ethan Winters came to a dramatic close. With different spooks in each of the 4 areas of the game, it's like the Disneyland of all things great about the horror genre. A DLC is currently in the works, so we might see more of our favorite lords. Maybe even a new Redfield story. Who knows? Village has a play score of an 8.83. Is the perfect opportunity for you to enjoy what they have to offer. If you're a returning player, well, enjoy increased performance and better visuals this time around. With 4K and 120 FPS support, your journey around this yokai-infested Nippon has never been this better. The combat is still difficult, but that's a given since it takes inspiration from FromSoft's Soul series. This collection receives a play score of an 8.85.
Members of the Resistance, we promise nothing nefarious will befall you. We promise.
Dr. Nefarious. This is the part where you lose.
And first on the list is Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. The best PlayStation 5 game this first half of 2021 is none other than Insomniac's action-adventure platformer. Rift Apart takes the PlayStation 5's beast of a hardware and integrates it to Ratchet & Clank's time-bending journey. With little to no load times and smooth 60 frames performance, make your way around a science fiction trip where you put a stop to Dr. Nefarious's nefarious plans. Use a variety of weapons at your disposal, ranging from badass to downright ridiculous. A play score of a 9.26.